Joining me now is Scott Lucas, Professor at the Clinton Institute, University College Dublin. Okay, so if we move over to the actual Republican spending bill, which is backed by Trump, we apparently may have a government shutdown. What do you make of that?
We will have a government shutdown probably by the time you post this video. And as I speak to you, it is Friday morning, and the American authorization for government funding expires at midnight tonight. I need to give your viewers a little bit of context on this story. The America now is in a position where every few months they have to get congressional authorization, what's called a continuing resolution, to keep the government paying its bills. That means paying the salaries of employees. It means paying out certain benefits, certain social benefits. Earlier this week, Republicans and Democrats agreed on that resolution. Now, that resolution includes authorization for continued spending. It has other measures. For example, it provided about $180 million for a cancer research treatment center for children. It provided for a measure to try to limit the cost of pharmaceuticals by actually restricting the amount that pharmaceutical middlemen can make, in terms of their profits. So there were various measures in there as well as the spending bill. But most people agreed on it. On Wednesday, so 2 days ago, as I'm speaking to you right now, a man named Elon Musk, you might have heard of, came out on a platform called X, which he happens to own, and he put out 70 tweets trashing the agreement. 70. Elon Musk, of course, has now aligned himself very closely with Donald Trump. He is the head of this department, which is not a department, this Department of Government Efficiency, which is like a consultancy group that says we'll cut $2 trillion from the government budget. Musk, in effect, is playing politics. Whether or not he had agreed on those tweets with Trump before he put them out, by Wednesday afternoon, Donald Trump was saying, this is a terrible agreement. Republicans can't support it. And this agreement fell apart. On Thursday, so yesterday, as we speak now, the Republicans, or some Republicans, tried to put forward another continuing resolution without consulting the Democrats. It did not include the money for that cancer research for children in that hospital. It did not include the measure to limit pharmaceutical cost. It did include a measure to increase the American debt ceiling, where Trump could simply spend at will without having to be financially responsible. The Democrats who weren't consulted said no. Interestingly, however, 38 Republicans, there are about 220 Republicans in the House, 38 of them said no. They defied Trump. Measure didn't pass. What you have, if you don't mind me going through that story, what you have is an immediate story about how does the American government operate financially, including the shockwaves that all the gains since Trump's election on the stock market that he likes to brag about were wiped away in the past few days. But it's a wider story of Donald Trump versus the US system, or rather, Donald Trump and Elon Musk versus the US system. That if they don't like something, they're going to go on social media and they're going to issue a command to Republicans, you can or you can't do this. How many Republicans in Congress are simply going to take the knee before Trump and do whatever he says on social? How many of them are going to say, no, this isn't right. We need to actually carry out our responsibility as legislators? Because, of course, the story I'm telling you is a story right now which is about the House of Representatives, because they handle all funding bills. But there's also that question of how many Republicans in the Senate, the upper chamber, will stand against Trump. That's going to play out in terms of the confirmation of Trump's appointees, including conspiracy theorists like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. as health secretary, unqualified nominees who happen to be TV hosts like Pete Hegseth as defense secretary, and pro-Kremlin activists like Tulsi Gabbard, who also, by the way, is pro-Assad, as the head of American intelligence. So you're going to see that contest there, but then you're going to see it when Trump, for example, says, I want to deport millions of people from the United States. Will Republican legislators support that? How far will they let Trump get away with being Trump if it threatens the US system?